All right, in this lesson, we're going to learn something that's going to come from the last couple lessons we're doing, midpoint, slope, and parallel and perpendicular lines. We're going to learn how to find the equation of the perpendicular bisector. So that's what we're basically this video is about, is learning how to do the perpendicular bisector equation. Here's the process, and it's going to, you may not understand it right away on this video. You're going to be like, whoa, that's kind of a lot. But if you think about what a perpendicular bisector is, I'm going to draw it out for you. So we have a line segment. Okay, we have a line segment, and the perpendicular bisector means it goes right through the midpoint, right? And it's perpendicular. So we're trying to find the equation of this line right here, So it's got to go through the midpoint. So here's AB. It's got to go through the midpoint, and it's got to be perpendicular. Now, we learned some things. We learned in previous lesson, how do we find the midpoint? We know the midpoint formula. How do we find perpendicular? Slope's got to be negative reciprocals. We did that in our previous lesson. So these are all the things we need to do. We need to first determine the slope of AB. So if I know the slope of AB, I know the slope of this line right here, the slope of my line, right? So the slope of my line is going to have the negative reciprocal slope of AB. So I need the slope of AB, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So that's going to be, then there's the x's and y's, 11 minus 5 over 3 minus negative 1. So that's going to be 6 over 4. 3 minus negative 1 is 3 plus 1. And that's going to be 3 over 2. So I know that the slope of AB is 3 over 2. So the slope of my line that I'm trying to figure out the equation of is going to be, let's put perpendicular slope, is going to be negative 2 over 3. So my perpendicular slope is going to be negative 2 over 3. So we've got to keep that in mind. Now, I need the midpoint. Right here. What is the midpoint of AB? So I'm going to do the midpoint formula. Okay, midpoint formula. Midpoint. And that's going to be x1 plus x2 over 2, y1 plus y2 over 2. So that's going to be, add the x's, 3 plus negative 1 over 2. And then add the y's, 5 plus 11 over 2. And that's going to be 2 over 2, which is 1, and 16 over 2, which is 8. So my midpoint, I put MP for midpoint, my midpoint is 1/8. So I need a line, I need the equation of a line that passes through the point 1/8 and has a slope of negative 2/3. So again, passes through, and you should know this from a previous lesson, passes through 1/8, and slope is negative 2/3. So I know my point slope formula. Okay, so it's y2, I'm sorry, that's not the point slope. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And I'm going to have y stays there, minus the y is 8. Slope is negative 2/3. X minus x1, x minus 1. So there is my answer in point slope form. And of course, or you could multiply it all out, so you get y minus 8 equals negative 2/3 x plus 2/3 if you distributed, right? If you distributed through, and then add 8. So you'd have y equals negative 2/3 x, and then it would be plus 8. So plus 8 2/3, whatever that comes out to be. So basically, if you just have it in point slope form, that's good enough. Just let me extend this page so you can see that. Sorry about that. All right, should have done that. Should have moved that up. So there you go. Again, so y minus 8 equals negative 2/3 x minus 1, or y equals negative 2/3 x plus 8 and 2/3, whatever 8 and 2/3 is. All right, so nice short video for tonight. Find the slope, find the midpoint, put it all together into the point slope formula, and kind of a combination of what we did the last 3 lessons all put into one here. And that's to find the perpendicular bisector equation. They may ask you to do that on the exam.